Hello everybody and welcome to the massive unboxing in my hotel here in Hamburg, and this will be the start of the unboxing. I will just be showing what I got here at the Airbus factory and at Miniatur Wunderland. So I guess we'll just get into that and then we'll continue it either at the rented house in Latvia or at my home in Minnesota. Whenever it will cut after this shot. So getting right here was the stuff that I got at Airbus. We have the 1:400 scale Airbus A321 XLR, and also we got a Beluga XL from Airbus, both of those 1:400 scale. Then here's the bag of stuff from Miniatur Wunderland, beginning with a t-shirt here, and we also got a bus. And then next up here we have some Shabak 1:600 scale models here. We have a SATA A320 and a Philippine Airlines 747-400. We have these two Herpa 1:500 scale models. I didn't have any 1:400s there, but we got still some pretty good stuff there. Despite that, we have a Braniff BAC 111 and a Mango 737-800. And finally, here we got two Herpa Snap Fit models. We got a SkyUp Airlines 737-800 and a Kulula Flying 102 737-400 here in their new livery. So yeah, pretty good haul here from Miniatur Wunderland. And yeah, so stay tuned for the next part, I guess. We'll be cutting to that in a second here, of me actually like opening all these things up here and getting an up close view of them. So you'll see that in a moment here, but that'll be probably in a few days / weeks for me.
And all right, we are in Latvia right now at our rented house, and I will be unboxing all of the stuff that I got in Germany. My voice is a little bit shot because I am a little bit sick. I've been sick pretty much this entire time in Latvia, which kind of sucks a lot. But we're here today. We'll do the unboxing here of these models. As you saw them, the boxes at least previously. So we'll get into the models that I got at Airbus, which I got these two right here for basically the same price that I got everything else at Miniatur Wunderland, but that's a different story. Move all those out of there, and then we'll begin. Our first model here is like this, the Airbus brand models. I'm not really sure what they are, but the Airbus A320neo XLR and 1:400 scale. So yeah, they had these at the gift shop there, and definitely wanted to get this one. And then you'll see the other model. Well, you've already seen the other model that I got, but we'll review that one next. But the box is pretty simple. But it's a pretty cool design on it, and it says Airbus on the back there and stuff. And then we have the Miami to London over here, and then Kuala Lumpur to Sydney on this side, because that is the livery that this aircraft is in. So we get out of the box here, and comes with like a little instruction manual or just like some information. I'm not really sure. I guess it's just a little instruction manual. Doesn't really give much instructions though. We have a stand in here as well. I'll try to get this thing open. This might be a struggle. I kind of ripped it open, but here's the stand. As you can see, this kind of just goes in like so. It doesn't do it very easily, but that's how it's supposed to work. Maybe the other way around. It doesn't go in super well, but it gets the job done, I guess. And then here we have the aircraft inside the plastic. We'll get that out. There's actually a little baggie in here with whatever if you need to replace something, which is nice. And here is the model itself. So yeah, these aren't too like high quality. They're not supposed to be really high quality. It was like 35 euro or so for this one, or 30 maybe. So, you know, not too bad. And so it doesn't quite sit on the nose properly, which is a bit unfortunate, but that's not too big of a deal. But we have our cockpit windows up here. We have the L1 door. There is our nose gear, which does not touch the ground. We have Airbus A321 and XLR up behind that one. Then we have the towers here that are in Kuala Lumpur. Big landmark there, but I'm not sure what they're called. And then flying extra long range. Titles up on top. We have the 2 overwing exits and exit paths. And then we have the dot here, which symbolizes the flight from Kuala Lumpur to Sydney. And we have the Sydney Opera House. These are the Pratt & Whitney engines that are on this particular aircraft. The other 2 prototype A321XLRs have the GE engines, but this is the only one with the Pratt & Whitney option. And then we have our main gear down here, which do not roll. And then there's the Sydney Opera House, and then we also have Neo on the tail there, looking very nice. So yeah, just a nice little souvenir here from Airbus. I have another one of their models. I think this engine touches the ground. The gear there might be a bit too low. It does say Airbus. We have an Airbus or A321XLR belly. The engine does touch the ground though, so that's not too great. The wing might be placed a little bit off there. But I mean, it is a cheap model, so not the biggest deal. I didn't expect super great quality from them. But it also doesn't really fit. The stand doesn't really fit in the base, and the model doesn't really fit on the stand. You can kind of see that. So it kind of sits a little bit weird on there, but it does go on the stand. And it looks okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this first model. Gets the job done. Then next up here, we have the Beluga XL. Now I did have the old Beluga model of that one. It was also the same brand. So it'll be interesting to check out the XL version, the new one, which is based on the A330 instead of the A300. Once again, we have a little instruction manual thing here, which doesn't really give any instructions, but that's okay. And then again, another stand, which I will just rip open here. And we have, if I can get it out, we have the stand right there. And then we have the model here, and we'll just get that out. And so the unfortunate thing about this one is that it does not have landing gear, which really sucks, because I would like to use that, you know, as a proper model with gear, but obviously it doesn't have that. Now my other Beluga, with the old Beluga, does have gear, which is a bit confusing that they didn't put it on this one, but I guess that's just how they decided to make this model. But yeah, we have our cockpit windows up here, which are in the smile of the Beluga. We have XL1, this is the Beluga XL, and it's number 1 out of 6 that they made. We have the eye right here for the Beluga, which is a little bit funny, this design, and also the nose kind of, you know, dips down as it does to allow the top part to like open up. And then we have, you know, the big Beluga part. It's really funny how the Beluga looks, but it's really a nice aircraft in my opinion. We have Airbus Beluga XL on the fuselage. We have a little paint chipping on the wing there, but yeah, these are cheap models. Although this might have been a bit too expensive, honestly, for the quality. This is not too great. We have the engines here, and then our winglet, which is just plain blue. And for the back here, we have the Airbus logo on the tail, and we have the 1XL again right there. And we have these little things. So that's some nice detail on the bottom. I'm not sure what those are, but they did detail them on there. And we also have the registration, which is Foxtrot Alpha Bravo X-Ray Lima. And the bottom of the aircraft also says Beluga XL. So another airplane logo belly, which you gotta love to see. And then this one also goes on the stand, of course, as it does. And there you go. So yeah, these are kind of, they get the job done. Nice little promotional pieces for Airbus. I don't know if Boeing has their own little model line. I don't think they do. So that's nice that you can get some pretty cheap Airbus models. They're not very high quality though, so I'd recommend getting the NG versions of those two aircraft, but in that case I would have spent probably an extra 30 to 40 euro, which I'm glad I didn't. So that's enough with the Airbus stuff. Now we'll move on to the stuff that I got at Miniatur Wunderland. We'll exclude the shirt because I don't really want to get that out of the box because that's so nicely folded in there, and that'll be a pain to try to wrangle back in there to get, back home. We have a lot of stuff to pack. It's gonna be a struggle here, but we'll start with the bus. I don't really know why I got the bus. I just wanted to get a bus, and this bus looked cool, so I got the bus. Well, maybe I should have gotten a different bus, but that's all good. So yeah, it is this is HO scale, 1 to 87th scale bus. It's really light. This is 12 euro, which is probably an appropriate price for it, but considering the price of the other stuff, which is really cheap, it's probably too expensive. This is literally just a piece of plastic, but it's a cool bus. It's French. I don't know what that says. I don't speak French, but I don't know if this bus is used in France or in Belgium or something like that. But it's a pretty cool design on it. Yeah, I'm not really sure what it's all about, but it's a nice little bus, and I wanted to get a bus, so I got a bus. I probably spent way too much on it, but that's okay. But next up, we'll move on to our 1 to 600 scale model, which we got 2 of them here by Schabach. We'll begin with this one that just fell over these were only 5 euro. This is the SATA International on the Airbus A320. So that's a pretty good deal for this one. When I went to Miniatur Wunderland in the past, I did buy some 1 to 600 scale models. And, this one will be new. I got a Taka, an Aero Mexico, and an Air Pacific Fiji. This one has been very tough to open. Because you have to get through the plastic first, which is a bit of a pain. But looks like we got that open. And we'll get the plastic off the box. We can get to the actual box here. It's a pretty simple box. It just has the aircraft right there, SATA logo, and there it is on the side, and some specifications. But yeah, it's a pretty simple little box here, and a very tiny model, even because of a very tiny stand inside. That's actually really cute. Really, so I was kind of blocking the camera there, and I still kind of am. I don't know how to get this stand out of here. I feel like I can just try to push it out, if that makes sense. But there it is. So a very tiny little stand. I I didn't even know that these came with stands, but as you can see, I mean, it has to be really tiny because the model itself is super tiny. Now, I don't know if this mold is super perfect, but that is all good. Get it in frame here. And so, yeah, we have our cockpit windows up here. I can't even read this, what it says on the model. We just have like some flags here, the Portuguese flag and the European Union flag. We have the L1 boarding door, a little crest next to that. We have the landing gear, which do not roll, although they appear to. It says SATA International up there. We have our logo on the engine. Actually, we'll go back to that later. We have the overwing exits, no exit pass on the wings, but you can't really put too much detail on these things because it's so tiny. But we do have the overwing exits detail on there. Fly Azores, those are islands in the Atlantic that are owned by the Portuguese. And we have the registration Charlie Sierra Tango Kilo Juliet, and then A320 beneath that. Then we also have the logo in blue, or the logo in white on the blue tail. And underneath we have Airbus A320 and the Shavak logo kind of grooved in there, which is very interesting. But that's pretty much it. No like areas or anything. I mean, this is a tiny model. Like, here's my finger, and then yeah, it's a tiny model, but it does have a stand, so we'll try to put it on the stand here. And there you go. Here is the model on this tiny little stand. So yeah, 1:600 scale. Don't have too many from that scale, but you know they're cute. So there's the SATA International one. And next up we'll have the Philippine Airlines one. And once again we'll have to get it out of the plastic, which is always a fun thing to do. This one was also €5, mind you. You can, I don't know, there it is. I'm still zoomed in, I didn't realize that. But there you go, $4.90. So a really good deal for both of these. Not as clean as the plastic this time. And then the box is the same as the other ones, but we're not going to go completely into detail with it. This one comes with a bigger stand, so that's nice. I'm not going to open it, because I don't feel like we need it. Once again, the mold here is probably not too realistic. Probably not meant to be very realistic. Because that doesn't look too great. That's all good. We'll get it started. Up here we have our cockpit windows. Our first class section up here with the first seat being in front of the cockpit, which is always really cool. We have our nose gear down there. You have the L1 door. We have a little escape hatch up there, which is detail on, which is very nice. We have that I would assume that would be L6 door, though it might be L2 door, but it is on the second level. I'm not really sure in what order these go, but we have the Philippines logo right there. We have the logo on the outside of the winglet, but not on the inside. I'm not sure if it's like that in real life, but I'd imagine it probably is. I would think they'd be able to detail the inside, but maybe not. Maybe it would have the logo on the inside. I'm not really sure. We have our wings right here with the engines, and then they do have appropriate details on the wings, so that's pretty good. But pretty simple. And then we move into the back. We have the registration right there, which is Romeo Papa Charlie 6166, I think, or no, 8168. This is the registration. And then we have the flag of the Philippines right there. And then, of course, the logo once again on the tail, which looks very beautiful. I'm not really sure about these main gear though. Those don't look too great, but that's no big deal. 747-400 and by Shabak. And yeah, so that is this model. And those are the 1:600 scale models that I got at Miniatur Wunderland. Next up, we'll move on to our 1/500 scale models, in which I got 2 of them, both for pretty good deals. And both really pretty models. Because I'm not going to be like using these in airport, I just wanted like some visually appealing ones, you know, that I could put on display or something. And these 2 are pretty colorful, so that'll do here. So we have a Braniff BAC 111 and a Mango Century 7800. So we'll begin with the Mango, because why not? So Mango is no longer, I guess here's the box. It's a Herpa box. You've probably seen a Herpa box before. This is what the box is like. It was €15. So yeah, we'll get the model out here. And yeah, so Mango, they're no longer. They were a South African airline, and then they kind of just failed, and they're no longer a thing. But their models look cool. So yeah, we'll get it into the model right here. We have our cockpit windows once again with the eyebrow on it, which is very nice to see. Our nose gear down there. We have the L1 boarding door. Our Mango billboard titles, which are actually kind of on the other side of the fuselage, which is unique. We have flymango.com up here, and then the overwing exits and exit paths. We have the engines, which, what do they say? O Connect. So that is, I guess, the Wi-Fi thing, which is very cool that they have Wi-Fi, but I suppose that's a pretty common thing nowadays, but you know, it is a low-cost carrier, so it's nice that they have that, I assume for purchase, but still very cool. We have our winglet here, which has the same thing on the inside and outside, which is just kind of like their O logo. We have Mango back here, kind of like the tail logo, but it also goes onto the fuselage and into the tail. And on the other side, it's like the other way around it, but it just ends with the O there. So on both sides, it has the O on the tail. But yeah, other than that, it's just all orange. But orange is a pretty cool color. And so yeah, it's a pretty cool livery in my opinion. Definitely a very colorful one. Kind of like the Spirit Airlines of Africa, but just all orange. We have a stand hole down there. This one didn't come with a stand, but we don't have any like aerials or anything. We also have the Herpa logo. And then we have the landing gear well there. But yeah, nothing too great in terms of detail here, but we do have a SATCOM dome on top. But yeah, that's pretty much it here to go over for this Mango 738, but a nice model by Herpa. And it will at least be very flashy on the shelf. And then next up here, this one, maybe I could use in like a retro airport update, but it would be on an incorrect scale, so I won't do that. It is the Braniff BAC 111 in the jelly bean livery, the turquoise one, I suppose, or the cyan. I don't really know what color that would be considered as, but once again, it's the same box. This one was only €10, so a good deal for this model. I assume these were just like models that Herpa had that they just wanted to get rid of, and they're like Miniatur Wunderland just took them because they were cheap, and so now I have very cheap models. This one was hard to get out of the box, and it kind of fell out, but it's intact, so that's all good. So move that out of the way. This model I'll probably just hold in my hand because it is tiny. So yeah, we have a very nice mask up here to, help the pilot see a bit in the sun. We have our nose gear down there, which does not roll. The main gear do roll though. Maybe it's supposed to roll, but these gear barely roll. We have our L1 boarding door right there. We have the Braniff International titles up above the windows there. We have our windows and then the overwing exit all over the nice teal blue turquoise background. We have our wings right here, which have all the appropriate details and textures on them. It's very nice to see. We also have our engines, which look very nicely modeled on here. The BI logo on the tail and the US flag. Also, our registration is November 1545. And on the bottom, once again, we have the stand hole Herpa logo, and also this little line that goes on the bottom in silver. We also have our T-tail design right there. So that's looking very nice. And so yeah, these are our two Herpa 1 to 500 scale models. We still have two more Herpa models to go, but they are both in 1 to 200 scale and snap fit models. And those are the ones that I am most excited about because, well, they're big and they will be on at least the most prominent display, probably out of all of these. So we'll get to those right here. The first of which, I may have to make some room right here because created kind of a mess with all my stuff, but we have the SkyUp Airlines 737-800 snap fit model right here. Now I got this model. It is kind of like the same design for the box again, so that's a bit boring, but no big deal right there. This one does have tape on the side though, so I'll have to take that off to get the model out of here. And so yeah, I got this model because SkyUp Airlines used to fly charters into Riga on like a daily basis to a bunch of places, but I think it was mostly like Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. And they haven't done it for a while, but it was back in like the spring and in the winter they would do that. And that was really cool, and this aircraft would fly in there a lot. We'd also get the special livery for, I forgot which football team, but FC Dakar or something like that. But we'll get the plastic out, and then, so since it is snap fit, there are a lot of different pieces in here. We have the base for the stand, and the other piece of the stand, which just kind of slides in. And so that's the stand. Then all of the pieces that make up the aircraft, which I guess we'll just kind of take out one by one here. It's the, or let's see, how do we want to do this? We have the fuselage right here. And I will just kind of take it all out and assemble it as we go. So first we can assemble the wings here. They just kind of slot in there, of course. I mean, you know how to put together a snap fit model probably. These do not want to go in. Man, that's tough. All right, well, it'll at least hold on very well. Better than my United 738 by Skymarks, which the wings always fall out of that one. These are going to be very difficult to take out once they're in, which is going to be a pain since I'm going to have to take them back out to put them back in the box before I leave to go back to America. That does not want to go in at all. Holy crap. I did not anticipate it being this difficult to get that in. All right, well, so I don't know about this Herpa. I feel like that may not have been the best design there. I'll work on getting it more in probably when I get home because I want to be able to take it out. But yeah, not the best. It also doesn't go on the stand at all. I have like paint chipped on my hand now. So that wasn't great. I hope the other model's not like that because I like that one even a whole lot more than this one. And this one is really cool. It's unfortunate that it doesn't really work. But here's the model, finally. Sorry about that. We can do a little review here. We have our cockpit windows up there. With the L1 boarding door, we have the Ukrainian flag. This, I didn't even notice it is a Ukrainian Airlines SkyUp. And they do charter flights, and so that's pretty interesting. Definitely, they've surely been impacted a lot by the current war going on in Ukraine. We have the SkyUp Airlines logo right there. We have our opening exits, and then the wings right here, which I managed to fit one of them in there. It's not going to go on the stand, so yeah, I'm going to take this off. This has not been the best review, unfortunately. We have our logo right here on the engine, the U, creating the smiley face. And here we have our split scimitar, which this is definitely not right how this is modeled, because it when the plane is going forward, I mean, I guess it's better on the other one, but when it's like bent back, if that makes sense. You can kind of see it on the wing there, that's like bent. The front part is, it's not right. But it says SkyUp on the outside of the scimitar, and then this is the logo on the inside, SkyUp, and then it has the smiley face again. Registration, since it's Ukraine, uniform Romeo Sierra Quebec Bravo, and there's a SkyUp logo going up the fuselage onto the tail, which is in orange, and the belly also has SkyUp Airlines and is in orange. So that is that model. Wish it would fit together better, because I feel like this is going to become an actual snap fit model, and wish it snaps before I can even fit it. We have one more of these snap fit models, and this one is the one that I was most excited about, because it is in one of my favorite liveries ever, the Kalula Flying 102 737-400. So this is a very creative livery by Kalula Airlines. The Flying 101 was the original one, I believe, and that was back in their old livery, but this is their new livery, and I guess they remade it on a 737-400 and named it Flying 102. So that's a bit creative of them. I'm trying to get the tape off again here, so we can get into the thing. This one's like this one's not exactly 1 to 200 scale, because I guess they need to make it a little bit bigger to fit in the box correctly, probably. This one's like 1 to 8 something scale, or no, 1 to like 180 or 1 to 160 or something like that. That's not a big deal. Once again, we have our stand here, which hopefully works better for this one, but it says Kalula 737-400 Flying 102. You get the idea. And then here is the fuselage, which I'm struggling with getting out of the packaging. We have our wings as well. And actually, I'm not going to work at fitting those in right now. This one is a little bit different in how you assemble it. There, we'll do that. I didn't know why I didn't do that before. That's a whole lot easier. Let's get all our pieces out here, and then we'll assemble it from there. This one's a lot easier to assemble. There we go. Look, the wings fit in correctly. Love to see it. And then these. Okay, well that works. And all right, this one. Uh-oh. Can I not have both horizontal stabilizers? Ha, this is funny. These ones are separate, and when I put one in, I'll assume I'll be able to probably figure this out, but when I put one in, it kicks the other one out. They're like fighting over the spot, or maybe they're on the wrong side? Is that the case? They need to like fit in? I'm not really sure why it does that. So that's wrong. mean, yeah, they're on the right side. They just don't really fit in. That's as good as it's going to get, I guess. Well, this one at least looks a lot better than the Sky Up one. And it does go on the stand better too. Alright, this is what it's supposed to look like. The Sky Up one didn't turn out very well, but this one did, which is good because I definitely wanted this one to look good. Because this livery is pretty sick. And hopefully you can agree with that. We have our white nose cone up here. Let's go over every little detail right here. We have Iski Hulu. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that, but hopefully that was close enough. The boss, of course, being the captain, because that is, you know, where the captain sits. We have temperature thingy. How's the weather out there? We have door handle, pull to open, peephole, best view on board. These things are really tiny to read, so I'm struggling with reading them. So that's why this is struggling a little bit. But there's the all-on board door. We'll be flying 102 billboard titles right here. Boroko zone. What does that say? Something incognito. Traveling incognito, I think. We have the sequel, or yeah, Flying 102, the sequel to Flying 101. I get it now. Landing lights shine bright like the African sun. Leading edge slat, which is not really pointed at the slat, but I guess you can kind of imagine it. What does that say? I can't read it. Shoot. This is harder than I thought it would be to read these things. Get me up. Get me up devices, or I guess. I think that's what it says, which is a bit interesting, but alright. Engine number 1, thrusting you like never before. We have red light number 1. And what does that say underneath? I probably shouldn't be trying to read every single one of these. Alright, I'm not going to do that because that's going to take forever. We have red light number 1. Emergency exit. Exit first. Post later. These are just funny. Green plane, life jacket, Oscar Alpha Papa, and that is the registration. So that's pretty cool. Back door. Fresh H2O. Drain. We have APU right there. Won't focus, but it does say APU. And then Champion of the Sky since 2001, Kalula, and then pitot tubes. I want to go fast. On the other side, I think it says different things, so we have to do this all over again. Co-pilot, cockpit, ground intercom. Once again, Flying 102 billboard titles. Green disc, cargo, red light number 2. Stretch zone, silver lip, engine number 2, FS seat tray, FS tire, I'm not sure, sorry, oxygen mask, baggage hold, pressure relief, ukudla kula, I'm assuming that's food because that's kind of pointing at the galley, K dot. That's the dot. And high frequency HF radio up there. And then does it say something as well? Not sure what that says. Alright. Yeah, that was very long. But it is a very nice livery here. Very funny one indeed. And Kula is a great airline, so I'm glad to have this version. This will go in my room, as well as the SkyUp one. If I can repair the wing that does not want... Oh, wait, nope. Fixed it. I fixed the SkyUp one like just now. All right, so that's all good. We got them all good. This was a very terrible unboxing, but that's okay. I didn't have any of like my regular equipment with me, so had to make do. I didn't really have to. I could have done this back home, but I wanted to do a Latvian special. Yeah, here we go. Here are all the models that I got at both. Well, these are the Airbus ones. So we have the Beluga XL and A321 XLR, and then for Miniatur Wunderland we have the bus, the bus that I randomly bought, the Philippine Airlines 747-400, SATA A320, Braniff BIC 111, Mango 737-800, SkyUp Airlines 737-800, and Klula Flying 102 737-400. So that'll do it for this massive unboxing here of German treats unboxed in Latvia. Thank you all for checking this one out. I will see you tomorrow. As always, good night. Auf Wiedersehen.